I'm super fired up that we have Mr. Sam Bakhtiar, man. I'm so inspired by this guy. I met him a couple years ago at a driven event, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I was very nervous, and at the same time, I'm like, man, he had the Lambos, everything. At the time, I didn't trust myself, right? I didn't believe in myself like I believe in myself now, right? So I was like very hesitant and everything, but super humble guy, man. He gave me the opportunity to talk to him. He was one of the first speakers on my Unleash Your Power podcast, and which was amazing. I think that was one of my best interviews. I had fun with it, and man, he's just been a true blessing. He has a beautiful family. He's the co-owner of the Camp Transformation Center. If you guys have not gone to the Camp Transformation Center, man, that's a facility where not only do they help you transform your life physically, but I think more importantly, the mental aspect, right? That self-talk, that self-image, which is that in itself is game changer, because if you can't change that, you're not going to change your physical. You're not. You're going to go up and down, and eventually you're going to go back to your cybernetic. So with that said, Sam, thank you so much for being here, brother. Thank you for taking the time on a Wednesday morning to be right here with all this group of people, man.
Jeffrey, it's an honor and privilege for me to be here, talk to your group. Everyone, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me to your group. And man, I gotta tell you, man, I'm so proud of you, bro. Because you're like one of the most positive people that I've ever met. You've gone through so much in life, but you always found the positive and the negative. You always found the light, in darkness. And that's what life is all about. And I just want to, give you a shout out and tell you, even though we don't talk every day, I respect you, brother. I really respect you because the impact that you're making on so many people, the man that you're becoming, not only as a businessman, but also as a family man, and bro, you're in fucking great shape too. So,
Thank you, brother. Yeah, yeah, I look up to you, man. So I had to get real vulnerable with myself. I was getting too fat. I'm like, no, I gotta bring it back down. So now I'm getting in the best shape of my life, man. So let's get into it. We're gonna go all over the place right now, Sam. And for people that don't know who you are, let's go back in time, man. Who was Sam when he was in high school as a teenager? Who was that? Who was that Sam guy?
I was a lost, I was a lost teenager, bro. I had no identity. Um, I came to the United States when I was 11 years old, right preteen. I thought I was coming to Beverly Hills. I come to a little town called Sharon in the state of Pennsylvania. The most, you were either black or you were either white. There was no in between. I was the only minority in the entire town. And Sharon was an old steel town that, all the steel mills left, and it was a very depressed area. So I thought I was coming to Beverly Hills and Rodeo Drive because that's what I saw on TV. But I came to Sharon, Pennsylvania, abandoned. And worse, on top of that, my uncle does what most Middle Easterns do when they come to America as an entrepreneur. He opened up a convenience store in the hood, in the worst neighborhood that I've seen today. And so my first impression of America was pimps, prostitutes, and drug dealers outside of my uncle's store, convenience store. And so, I went to seventh grade to enroll. Like I said, I was the only minority. Imagine kids 11, 12, 13 years old. That can be so mean because my clothes that, weren't the same as theirs. I didn't speak the language. My haircut, I had a unibrow going on, and I just looked different. And, through series of trials and tribulations, through a series of setbacks that ended up being the biggest comebacks and the biggest blessings. Today, I'm a multimillionaire. I'm financially free. I have a beautiful wife, three beautiful children, and I'm able to impact people. But there's so many ups and downs in that journey. That led me up to this. I will tell you this. In life, you're either in a problem, left a problem, or headed towards one. It's how you see things and how you handle things that makes the biggest difference in the world. You can't react to things. You gotta proact to things. And when I look back in my life, every single obstacle that wasn't in the way, the obstacle was the way.
Oof.
So every single obstacle, every single one that I thought, oh my God, I'm devastated. I don't know how I'm going to overcome this. It was the biggest blessing. And I don't know what you guys are going through today. And you guys look like a bunch of, real estate people here. And by the way, I'm getting, and you mentioned the Lambo and all that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, I sold all my cars. I sold them all.
Wow.
I sold them all. Because, man, I have 3 kids and a wife. A Lambo and a Ferrari, man. I wasn't driving. It was sitting in the garage, just like a decoration. So I sold them all, and now I bought every real estate book. This is the one I just got done reading, and now I'm getting into real estate investing big time. So if you guys want to hit me up, you guys got deals and all that kind of stuff, hit me up. I'm all about that. And also people are like, wow, you sold your Lambo, you sold your Ferrari. You have to understand this, guys, that material things don't make me. You have to understand something. I wasn't born with a rich father. I didn't get an inheritance. I'm okay driving a beat up Volkswagen just as I'm okay, driving a Lambo or Ferrari. That doesn't make me, so a lot of times people get, oh, that's me. I can't do without this and I can't do without that. Or it's like, I see people like, having, they wear Rolexes to the gym and everywhere they go and all that kind of stuff. And I got a few of those too. And I'm like, dude, like, honestly, like, fuck, man, I'm cool with just, this is cool with me. For me, material stuff was never me. It was kind of like bodybuilders. When I was bodybuilding, when I was at the top of my bodybuilding career, when I retired, and full disclosure, when I was bodybuilding, I was taking anabolic steroids. I mean, that's what bodybuilders do at the highest level. And I mean, when you compete in NPC and IFBB, that's everybody. You got everybody does it. It's not a tested program. So when I was taking that stuff, and I decided that, you know what, at age 31, I'm going to stop. I want to start a family. I want to get married. I want to concentrate on the business. And everyone was like, what do you mean? Like, you're going to lose all your size and you're going to lose this. I don't care. I don't care. That my muscles didn't make me. My cars don't make me. I make me. My mindset makes me. Every single level of your life requires a different you. Right now, back in the day, I was eating 6, 7, 8 meals a day. Because I wanted to get big and I want to get this, and that. And don't get me wrong, I still work out. I'm still a little jacked. You know what I mean? I ain't let it all go. You know what I mean? But my biggest thing right now is to be as healthy as possible, have the right mindset as possible, be mentally clear. And now I fast all day. I only eat 1 meal a day. I'm in the best shape of my life. I can run, I can jump, things that I couldn't do when I was a big ass bodybuilder. And I can run around with my 1-year-old kid. I don't know if you guys saw my stories yesterday. My kid, my 1-year-old kid, wants to play peekaboo. I was running around, jumping over him, doing all that. That's what life is all about, man. I understand that every, life has its seasons. And at a certain point, you got to say, you know what, my time has come. I got to move on.
Man, you touched on so many things right now. So many things. One was the obstacle is the way, right? Whatever the obstacle is there to make you, to build you up, to develop yourself, right? And then touching on the Lambos and the muscles don't make you. You make yourself. And I like that book that you grabbed. Can you grab it again, Sam? Because I caught something right there. Look at all those notes that you have on that book. Like I see like a lot of green little things right there on the top. So you're noting everything?
Yeah, I'm noting everything, pages that matter, things that I need to reference back on. I don't read this, oh, I'm going to read 50 books a day or this. No. I want to read, I want to understand. I want to apply. So many people, right. I read, 20 books a year, 30 books a year, 50 books. I don't care how many you read. How many actually do you read, understand, and apply? That's the most important thing. I used to be one of those guys, and I'll read 50. No. Let me just read one. Let me master one. Let me move on. That's the hustle.
Yeah, that's true, man. I was that person. Yeah, you got that book? Did you read that book? Yeah, I read that book. What did you apply? I don't know. Shit, I didn't apply anything. Now, we have a mastermind on Sundays where the books that we're studying is Think and Grow Rich, Psycho Cybernetics, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, How to Win Friends and Influence Others, and How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. So we're studying those books,
They're all
right?
they're all my top 10 books as well, man. Top 10 books,
Yeah,
all of them amazing books, books that I have read more than once. And those are the books
yeah,
that I'll reference back every once in a while. Matter of fact, as you say that, I just read Think and Grow Rich again, and I actually got the, doing the workbook. After doing the work, as you were saying that, I'm like, yeah, man, that's something that every couple of years I got to reread. And I was like, wow, this is so good.
yeah. As a matter of fact, right now, Aaron, on Mondays, we're studying the workbook. We're going over the workbook. We're on lesson 8 right now. So it's some powerful stuff. Because again, it's not the book. The book is gonna be there, but what are you gonna apply with that information? And every time that you're reading it, you're a completely different person. You're not the same person that you were when you first read it, right? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And real quick before I forget, Aaron, I know you get into public speaking and all that kind of stuff. Let me give you a quick hack,
Sure.
on how to master your speech. One of the ways to master your speech is to actually record yourself. Record yourself. When you write your speech down, record yourself in a recorder, right? And when you go for a walk or when you go to work out, keep listening to it. Keep listening to it. Keep listening to it. And that's the way I've mastered my speech. That's the way that when I know I'm going to get on a big stage, I actually record myself, and I'm like, and you're like, damn, I don't sound as good as I thought I did. But if you keep practicing that and practicing and practicing that, you listen to yourself talk, on a recorder, it's powerful, and you can just do that on an iPhone.
Got it. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
That's huge right there. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm gonna apply that myself, man. So let's touch on, man, how did you get into bodybuilding, Sam? Because I know when we had our interview, you talked about you were a scrawny little kid and you
Yeah.
decided that you wanted to get into bodybuilding, and you have a record, right? You not only just got into bodybuilding, like you set the bar, like you set the standards. What was that all about?
Yeah. So, like I said, I got into bodybuilding because of devastation. And if I didn't get, because if it wasn't because of devastation, I would have never gotten into bodybuilding. If I would have never gotten bodybuilding, I never got into fitness. I would have never had 120 gyms, and I never would have changed hundreds of thousands of people's lives. See how life works? See what I'm saying?
Wow.
So let me go back and show you how I got into bodybuilding. I came to United States. I came, to United States. Like I said, I went to 7th grade, and I said, I want to play football. And they're like, yeah, football. I'm like, no, this country is weird, right? I'm like, this country is weird. This is the foot and this is the ball. My English is not that good, but I know what the foot and the ball is. This is called rugby. And they're like, no, this is American football. What you're talking about is called soccer here, and we don't have a soccer team. 1985, Sharon, Pennsylvania, there was no soccer, So now I'm devastated because they don't have a soccer team. Nobody knows what soccer is, I'm in a new country, no language. People are making fun of me. I don't know nothing about baseball. To this day, I really don't know nothing about baseball. Now I love football. I never played football, but at that time I'm like, football, man, that's like barbaric. People like kill each other, And then I'm like, all right, well, I tried for basketball. I never played basketball. I'm like, how hard can it be? I got to put the ball in the hoop, So I tried out for the basketball team in 8th grade. Never forget, cold Pennsylvania morning. 22 people tried out for the basketball team. 21 made it. I didn't make it. I'm the only one that didn't make it. So I went home, cried to my mom. I said, Mom, listen to this, guys. Listen to this very carefully. Mom, I hate the United States. This country sucks. Why'd you bring me here? I want to go back to my old country. Now understand, in my old country, we were getting bombed on by Saddam Hussein. So the pain of not making a basketball team, being bullied, made fun of, to me, the pain of getting bombed on was better. Why? Because that was my comfort zone. I was my comfort zone. And a lot of times when things get hard in our life, we just want to go back to our blanket, get our pacifier and suck on our pacifier and stay comfortable, right? So my mom sat me down on my bed in my room, and she gave me a speech that changed my life forever. She said, Sam, first of all, we cannot go back. We came here as refugees. We escaped the country. We cannot go back. A concept I know now is called burning the boats. If you're going to do something, go all in. I bought, see those books on the floor right there? Those are all real estate books. I'm saying, I'm going to get into real estate investing. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to get in bodybuilding. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to get into fitness. I'm going to go all in. But a lot of us have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. In case this doesn't work, I got to do this. And that's a bad way of looking at it. That's a bad way of looking at things. Either go all in, be obsessed about it, or don't fucking do it. Right? Second thing she told me, she said, Sam, do you really want to play basketball? I said, Mom, there's no soccer team. I need to have a sport. So basketball is the only thing. I really want to play basketball. She goes, okay, Sam, you can do whatever you want or be who you want as long as you're willing to pay the price and put in the work. Are you willing to put in the work? I said, yes, ma'am. Then the third thing she said, okay, then let's put a plan together. Let's put a plan together. And I said, here's the plan. Sam, you get out of school at 2:15. You walk to the boys club. You get there at 2:30. From 2:30 to 5, go play basketball. Play basketball, get better. At 5 o'clock, I'll pick you up. I'll take you home. We do your homework, get something to eat. We'll rinse and repeat this Monday through Friday. So you get better in basketball, you can try out next year. To this day, every single day, I have a fucking plan. I have a plan. Every single day, I print out my schedule. I know exactly what I'm doing at what time. Jeffrey, nobody, you don't need to follow up with me if I'm going to be on the call. I already know I'm on the call. You know what I mean? I know what it is. I know what I committed to. I have a set plan. I guard my time like I guard my children. Because my mom taught me, if I want to be successful, I got to burn the boats. I got to go all in. I got to have a plan. And more importantly, I got to stick to the fucking plan. So many people make a plan together, but the plan is all about, oh, I don't feel like it today. Oh, I don't feel good today. Oh, I don't do this and that. And if you guys want another book to read, I think, Jeffrey, you already read that. I think we talked about this before. I talk about why people are successful and why people are not successful and what it takes, the same thing that takes for you to become super successful. And it's the same thing that's going to make you a disaster. And that's your daily habits. And that's your daily ritual and how you stay consistent. And the best book on that is The Compound Effect by Aaron Hardy. Best book on that. You got to read that because so many of us put a plan together and they never stick to the plan. You know, the latest thing I'm challenging myself on, and it's the hardest thing, but I'm challenging myself because I'm sick and tired of losing to it, is the fucking phone. The phone. The more I'm on the phone, the more miserable I am. Why? Because I'm carrying work with me everywhere. So now I'm like this. My work is going to be in front of the computer. Emails, everything that I do is in front of the computer. Okay? I'm going to check my text 2 or 3 times a day, and that's it. And look, I was averaging almost 9 hours a day on the phone. 8 hours and 55 minutes. Check your screen time. That doesn't mean you're working. That means you're unproductive. That means you're just all over the place because you're multitasking. We know multitasking don't work. You're not sitting your ass down and concentrating on one thing at a time. You're running around with your kids. And the last thing I want to do is this. Daddy, he's always on his phone. No, because when I'm working, I'm going to be working. When I'm with the family, I'm not going to be on the phone. I'm going to be with the family. You know, and when I'm training, I'm going to be training. Everybody gets everything twisted. Everything gets managed around. So look at this right now. Look at this right now.
No, you're giving so much gold right now.
Look at my screen time. He went from 8 hours and 55 minutes to 2 hours and 47 minutes right now.
Wow.
And one of my goals in 2021 I'm working on it, is to keep it less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours. The world doesn't need more presents or gifts. The world needs your presence. For you to be here right now, focused on the task in front of you. Nothing is more disrespectful if I was right now talking to you guys and I was checking my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is more disrespectful when you do that to anybody. I don't care if it's your kids. I don't care if it's your mom. I don't care if it's your wife. I don't care if it's your client. I don't care who it is. It's disrespectful for you to be on your phone, not give somebody 100% of your attention. The reason you're giving somebody not 100% of your attention is because you didn't fucking do your job before. You're half-assing it. You're multitasking the whole time. Here's my hustle. For me, I get up, I get my workout in, I get to the office around 7. From 7 to 3, I work. And I mean, I work on the things that I need to work on. And from 4 to 9, it's family time. No phone. No phone. I don't care. I don't care. It can wait. Because if you have to have your phone on you at 4 o'clock on or whatever your time level is, it just means that you didn't crush it during the day. You didn't get what you were supposed to do during the day. That's all it means. I see so many people miserable. You know, I don't know if you watched that documentary on Netflix on cell phones.
No, I haven't.
Social Dilemma. Watch it. Social, because we got a bunch of people, you know, out in the world right now like monkeys all the time. Have you ever seen a chain smoker? Chain smoker, they're smoking cigarettes and they don't even know they're doing it. It's a habit. Okay, what are we doing with our phones? Every 5 seconds, every 5 seconds, every 5 seconds, every 5 seconds. You know, I love cars, but you know, when you're trying to speed up, when you're trying to go top speed from 0 to whatever top speed of the car is, you know, there's a moment that your car loses a little power. You know when that is? That little moment is when you're shifting gears. I don't care if you have a 1977 Volkswagen stick shift, or you can have a 2021 Porsche GT that has a PDK that changes in a split second. You're still going to lose a little bit of power on that transition. And every time you do this with your phone, you're losing power. You're losing power. You're losing power.
So what was your plan of action right away when you caught that for you? When you started looking at you were spending 8 hours and probably even more before you started counting, right?
Yeah.
So
I said, you know what? My work is going to be done in front of a computer, and it's going to be in one location. I know for hell I'm not going to take my laptop, you know, to the park with the kids. I know I'm not going to take my laptop anywhere, and that kind of stuff. And bro, on the weekends, I put my phone away. No, guess what? Guess what, guys? Nobody died. There was no emergency. Nothing. You know, the world didn't go over.
Let me ask you this, Sam, because I know like some people like you already have built such a successful business. You said over 120 locations. Like you guys, you're at that level where you're able to have more leverage, more time to build different stuff, right? So for somebody that's beginning, like what would you tell them like when it comes to that? Because programming and society, this prosperity movement, they talk about, man, you got to put in the work. You got to be constantly on top of it. You got to be on the grind. You got to be on the hustle. When is that time to hustle so hard? And when is that time to start leveraging and putting those systems in place? Because again, you got to build the momentum in the beginning. So how can you build the momentum, but at the same time be efficient and implement these things that you're saying, so it could be towards their advantage?
Well, Jeff, here's the thing. First, you make habits. Then the habits make you. Right? So here's the problem. I'm all about the hustle. Nobody's hustled like I've hustled. You know what I mean? I've hustled, you know, from 11 years old. I worked, you know, everything you imagine I've done. I'm the guy who still gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, hits the gym by 5. You know, I'm still that guy. I'm all about the hustle. However, I'm all about doing things effectively and efficiently, not just being all over the place. If you're effective but you're efficient, then you're able to put some boundaries If you don't put any boundaries, then you're not going to have a life. Now, look, if somebody is single, they really ain't got shit to do. Okay, you're single, you don't got shit to do, and it's between you going and to a bar, hang out with your homies, or hustling. Then fucking hustle. You know what I mean? But if you have a significant other, or you have children, bro, you gotta put boundaries around that shit. So what's the hustle? You hustle, but your kids don't know you. What's the hustle, and you're drifting further away from your wife? You know what I mean? What is that? So have an ending mind. If you're in a position right now that you gotta hustle and you gotta do whatever you gotta do, by all means do it. I'm all for it. Go out there and make it happen. But give yourself an end date. Because if you keep doing it and you keep doing it and you're gonna keep doing it, you're gonna hustle, you're gonna make all this money, you're gonna end up in divorce court. You're gonna end up not knowing your children. You're gonna end up missing out on your children's life. What's really important at the end of the day? Because I tell you guys, man, tomorrow is not promised to you. Tomorrow is not promised to you. Every second that I'm with my children, I cherish so vividly. I don't care if it's $1 million deal coming in. So on the weekends, it can wait till Monday for me. Let's put some boundaries. You got to put boundaries around your health. And you guys on Jeffrey's mastermind, you know what I mean? So I know you guys work out because I know he's big on that. So you got to put a boundary. I got to work out. Hey, dude, work can wait. I got to have an hour a day. If work is real busy, get your ass up in the morning and get your workout in. Whatever you need to do. There's 24 hours in a day, 1 hour a day, is 4% of your time. You don't tell me you don't have it. You got to put boundaries for your family. You got to put boundaries for your children. Then obviously you got to put boundaries around your work. My wife knows that if my office door is closed, do not come in. I'm working on something. My office door is closed.
Right there, yeah. You can't be a public success but a private failure, right? Public success showing, but
true.
So let's go into some questions right here that I have said, because everything that you're saying, you're big on discipline, right? Discipline is. So let me ask you, what's more important to you, discipline or talent?
Discipline, for sure. Discipline. Discipline. Okay. Man, listen, look at me, bro. Look at me. This right here, I don't have the best genetics in the world. Okay? I don't have the best genetics in the world, but I became the first bodybuilder in history to have a first place title in every single weight class. You know why? Because I outworked everyone. I was in the gym doing cardio when nobody wanted to do cardio. I got up when nobody wanted to do it. I meal prep when nobody wanted to do meal prep. I stuck to my diet the way I want to stuck to my diet. And I beat people who had more potential than me on stage every single time because I came in shredded, I came in ready, and they weren't. But guess what? When somebody was talented and disciplined, they kicked my ass. Phil Heath, Mr. Olympia. 8-time Mr. Olympia. They call him the gift. I went up against Phil Heath in 2005, Mr. USA. When I saw him, I'm like, I don't have a chance. Because he was disciplined and he had genetics and talent. But 99% of the time, discipline beats talent every single time.
Yeah, that's huge right there. Yeah, that's true, because a lot of people could have the talent. They don't have the discipline. They could have the talent and the genetics, but they don't have the discipline, and they self-destruct themselves because they're not taking action, and they're not using that gift that they have, right? That's huge, man.
It's sad.
No, I'm the same height as you, Sam. So I'm a short dude, man. But I'm working out. I'm getting the guns up. Like I'm putting in the work, and I'm loving it, man. And it's true, man. So Ed Milet, I know that you look up to Ed Milet a lot. And one of his quotes, he's like, your obsessions become your possessions. Whatever you become obsessed with, like exactly what your mom was telling you, right? What do you want? Do you really want to play basketball, right? Cool. Are you willing? And are you able to put in the work? Are you going to put in the work? Are you going to sacrifice and get obsessed with you learning that game, right? And if you answer yes to that, then all right, let's set up a game plan So we go attack that, right? Plan, do, check, and adjust. And as you're working at it, so okay, so that happened. You didn't play basketball, and you ran into a gym that there was a bunch of weights, right? Free weights, and that's how you started falling in love with bodybuilding. The crazy, right? Blessings and lessons, man. One thing led you to another. The mindset of your mom, you have applied it every day of your life. You've exploded your business. How was that? How was getting into you became a trainer, and then you decided to create an industry, not only in the fitness area, because a lot of the gyms that we know is like LA Fitness, 24 hours. Like you stepped up and you put your ass on the fire, like doing something that nobody had done. How did that feel? And there is no blueprint for it, first of all, right? Like what was going through your mind, because you're setting yourself up for a win. It's like you burned the boats, right? You went all into it, and now, man, you guys have transformed thousands and thousands of lives, man. I've gone to, I'm gonna say, like 4 or 5 different gyms from the camp. In It's the environment, right? Environment matters. People, when they're supporting you, when they're uplifting you, when they're pushing you to go to do that extra rep, to do that extra a set, man, it's just, it's fulfilling, right? And I think that's what the world really needs right now, man. They need more people to care, more people to support each other, instead of pointing fingers, like, look at how you're messing up. Like, man, how can I be of service, and how can I help this person become better, right?
Well,
So
well, I went in all in with my obsession of transforming people's bodies, because I know how what it did to me, not only physically but also mentally, and emotionally. It transformed me. It made me a better person. The same discipline that I applied to bodybuilding and lifting, I started applying to business. And it's the same thing. Once you build discipline muscles, you can apply to different categories in your life. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't understand when somebody says, "Man, I'm so successful in business, but I can't get my health together." What do you mean you can't? Just say you were disciplined. You did something right. Apply the same thing, and compound it. And when I got into business, when I got into the business of fitness, I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about sales. I just knew how to get people in shape. And I started doing fairly good for myself. But I knew that if I wanted to take it to the next level, I need to improve my skills. See, guys, your income will never outgrow you. You know what I mean? I can't have, a $10 skill and demand $1 million, paycheck. I can't do that. So for me to be able to take my business to the next level, I need to be around other people who are master in that business. I had to get mentors. I had to pay for mentorship. I had to go to seminars. I had to get around the right people, and to be able to learn, not only the business of fitness, but also learn business as a whole. I didn't, in college, they didn't teach me that. I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about sales. I didn't know what S corporation was, what LLC was. I didn't know anything, So I had to learn that from scratch, and I was open to it. And I'm telling you guys, if you want to improve your life, you got to be around other people. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. You can learn from everyone. Nobody is below you. A lot of times when for example, I go to a gym and somebody wants to meet me at the gym, it could be somebody who just been working out for a couple of years. And say, "Sam, let's work out together." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll do your workout." Why do I do that? Even though I have 35 years of lifting under my belt? Like, because I want to see how they're doing things. I want to see, and I tell you what, without a fail, every single time they're doing exercise that I either haven't done before or I don't like to do. And I do that exercise and I'm like, shit, and they say I'm sore. Because we all kind of like to do our own thing, kind of stuck in our own little comfort zone. You leave it up to me, I do bench, curl, squat. I don't do none of this crazy new stuff. But I get with a new young guy, I'm like, man, it gets me sore, it gets me crazy. And the same with your business. You have to have an open mind. You have to see what everybody's doing, and what can you learn from each and every person. You cannot have an ego. Well, I know this. Well, I make this much money, or I got this much muscle. What is this little skinny guy going to tell me? You know, oh, I got this much money. He won't make as much money. He's always going to tell me. You know, or oh, well, I have a perfect marriage. What is this divorced guy going to tell me? He's divorced. You can't tell me shit. You know, if he knew so much, well, how? Guess what? He can tell you what the fuck not to do. A failure is more important than a success. I want to be around people who fucked up. Tell me all the ways you fucked up your business.
Let me take notes. Yeah, that's
it didn't work. Tell me how you went bankrupt. Tell me all the times you fucked up. I want to know that more than, oh, well, you know, I had this funnel and this funnel just, you know, made me $1 million. Well, cool. That doesn't do shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, failures and successes, you want to learn from both. So yeah, so I got all in, and I was doing good, you know, in my business. And Jeff, 2008 came. 2008 wiped me out. Nobody could afford one-on-one personal training. Nobody could do that. So I started going like this. And I had no mentors. I didn't know anything. I didn't have a dad. Nobody told me about ups and downs in the economy. I thought I was an investor. I thought I was the man. Because I bought a house in Corona. You guys are real estate people, right? I bought a house in Corona for $269,000. 4 years later, it was $630,000. I was like, man, hey, I'm the man. Everything I touch turns into gold. But guess what? Everybody is a good fisherman when the fish are jumping in the boat. Everybody is an investor when there's a bull market. I didn't know that. I thought I was the man, right? So in 2008 came and God slapped me because I took that money, that equity, I bought a couple of cars, and I blew it, and I bought a home on an 80-20 loan. An $850,000 home in Eastville on an 80-20 loan, no equity in it. And then when 2008 went, that $850,000 home was $400,000 now, and I couldn't pay the payment. I was devastated. You know, we were pregnant with our first child. Our first child was born in 2009. 2008, we were pregnant with our first child. I'm literally crying. I'm depressed. I'm like, man, I blew it. I had a chance to do things right. I didn't manage my money right. I messed up. And all these negative thoughts that go through your head. But just like anything else, you know, for about a week or so, I had a pity party. I ate some pizza, watched some movies. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me put a plan together. Let me go on trying to make it happen. And I put a plan together. And from 2008 to 2014, I executed my plan every single day. I came back home with an L. Lost every single day. Every single day. From 2008 to 2014 was an L. Because no matter what I did, I couldn't get myself out of this thing. At one time, I was 2 years behind on the payment on the house. I was getting foreclosure notices. I didn't know if I was going to come home and not have a home. And I just grinded out to 2014. We started seeing some traction. 2014 started seeing traction. The Camp Transformation Center, that this big giant wheel that you guys see with over 100 locations and doing tens of millions of dollars a year, it was because of recession. Because nobody could afford one-on-one training. So I asked myself, if Jeffrey can't afford one-on-one training to pay me $800 a month now, well, can't Jeffrey pay me $100 a month and train with all these other guys? I asked these other guys, hey, you can't afford a personal trainer, but how about if I get one trainer and get a class? You still get a workout, you pay less, and you get great results. So I had to be open about it. At first, I wasn't open about it because I'm a bodybuilder. What do you mean you're going to do this class? Nobody can lift weights. You need one-on-one training. You need to lift heavy ass weights if you want to get in shape. Nobody's going to get in shape with this Jane Fonda jumping up and down stuff. Nobody's going to get in shape with this, this leotard shit. You gotta get ground. You gotta get some squats. You gotta get some heavy squats. I was open mind. I had some open mind. All right, let's try it. I told my business partner, Allie, I don't know shit about boot camp. I can't teach it. I don't know nothing about that jumping jack stuff. I know about weights. You teach it, I'll market it. And I'd be the face. I marketed it. I expanded. Ali was all right. So she taught 10 classes a day. We were so broke. The first camp started with $9,000. $9,000. Ali had no money. I had no money. I had $9,000 in my name. No, I take it back. I had $11,000 in my name. So I put $9,000 into the camp. We had concrete floors. We had a boom box. We had a boom box for a thing. Some concrete floors. Ali taught the class, and we had one boom box and one CD for 2 fucking years. We listened to the same CD. Same CD because we couldn't afford to get a different song. And then one day I just fucking lost it. I remember I was in my office. I'm like, if that Rihanna song come on again, man, I'm gonna flip. I just can't listen to this fucking Rihanna song. We found love in an empty place or whatever the fuck that name is. You know what I mean? I was like, we found love on an empty. I'm like, if that song came on, and in the middle of the class, I lost it. I went downstairs and I was like, stop. They're like, what's wrong? We can't listen to this no more. Ali, let's get an iPod. You know, what are those things called? What's those the little things? Huh? No, what Apple ones. iPod?
The iPods.
Yeah. We want one of those iPods. I'm like, we gotta download some different music, man. I can't listen to the same fucking CD for 2 years. So, and then check this out, man. After about 2 years of not having floors, because it was on concrete, people kept telling me, Sam, my back hurts, my knee hurts. You know, I'm like, come on, man, suck it up. I mean, oh man, I think the floor, there's nothing wrong with the floor, man, suck it up. And then one day, I took the class, my back and my knee was jacked up, bro. I was like, all these people complaining, because, they're jumping up and down on the concrete all the time. I'm like, man, Ali, we got to do something about the floor, man. So we finally, we were afford to be able to get some floors. But this was the humble beginnings. Listen to this. When we moved the camp to a new location, finally, after a few years, our equipment vendor came in with the last bill, and we overestimate. Obviously, just like any construction, it went over the budget. The equipment vendor came in. The last bill was like, I don't know, $8,000 or something like that. He gave me the bill. I looked at him. Fuck, I don't have it. He already installed the equipment. I'm like, fuck, I don't have it. And I go, hey, his name is Alfredo. It's Alfredo. I don't have it, bro. But let me tell you what I would do. I'm sorry I don't have it, but I know, and I know I let you down, but here's what I will do so we don't have to have this conversation again, okay? Here's a check. I wrote him a check. I wrote him 8 $1,000 checks, posted it each month. Alfredo, this is my commitment to you that I'm going to pay it. I don't have it right now, but you can deposit those checks at the first of the month, every single month for the next 8 months, and you got the money. And he could have been a dick and say, no, man, I'm gonna take my shit back and you're not gonna pay me, this and that. He looked at me and he was really disappointed. I felt so bad. He was so disappointed in me. He's like, man, I just installed this stuff. I have this equipment. And I go, Alfredo, I'm good for it. But that's why I'm giving you the check. He looked at me with disappointment. He left. After 8 months, he got paid back. So now we have over 100 locations. So every new location, he gets the business. See, you got to know people who are going to ride with you. So far, he's got millions of dollars worth of business because he believed in me when I had no money. And I want you to also look at people and treat people relationally, not transactionally. In this day and age where I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do in life. You're a chiropractor, you're a dentist, you're a real estate agent, you do alarms. I don't care what you do. There are 10 other people, 100 other people, 1,000 other people in the same area doing the same thing as you. Same thing as you. You're not the only one in your game. Somebody right there it could be your neighbor doing the same thing as you. Why can't somebody do business with you and not somebody else? Why somebody's going to do business with you rather than the other person? You know why? That's how you make them feel. If you treat people transactionally, you're going to run out of people. If you treat people relationally, you're always going to have a flood of leads. You're always going to have a flood of business.
Huge, brother. That was so huge. Yeah, absolutely, man. How can we leave people with an increase of value, right? How can we leave them better than what we found them? I like that quote from Minky Johnson. He's like, as common courtesy, when you come into a place, can you leave it better than what you found it? That's making the world a better place because you're there. That's your world. That's your surroundings. How can you make that space better than what you found it? And man, Sam, that 2008, God was preparing you for this blessing that was coming. That blessing that was coming because it wasn't even just about you. Look at all the thousands and thousands of people that have been impacted because you stepped up and you decided to take action and you decided to take that leap of faith despite the circumstances, the situation, despite you not having everything perfect. Because sometimes we want to have everything perfect. We don't want to have any hiccups. Like you're like, who gives a shit? Let's fail forward. Let's learn in the process. As we're growing, we're gonna learn. As we're growing, we're gonna put the right people in place. You talked about you didn't even know what an LLC or a corporation was, but as you were learning, as you were growing, you were learning. The universe, God was putting the right people in place, and you became curious. You had that curiosity on wanting to learn, wanting to get better, wanting to freaking raise your lid, right? Taking ownership of your life, right?
And here's the thing that I want to point out. You know, a lot of people in life are waiting for the perfect time to execute. I'm waiting when the market crashes. I'm waiting. Monday is the perfect day for me to start my diet. You know, or I'm waiting for this to happen. You know, when I was getting ready for my second show, my second bodybuilding show, I was training with a friend of mine at Penn State University. His name is Chris. The dude was like 270, 280 all muscle. I was 155 pounds. And when he came to doing the show, I went and did the show. He backed out. He goes, no, I want to put on a little bit more muscle, a little bit more muscle. I'm not ready. You know, then I left Penn State and I moved up in a weight class and I did more shows and I became the first bodybuilder in history with the first place title in every weight class. Chris never competed. 280 pounds of all pure muscle, never competed because he was waiting to get a little bit more muscle, a little bit more muscle. Here's what I'm asking you. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? What are you putting to the side that you're not doing? What are you procrastinating on? You know, read that book. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Read it. Read it twice. Every single one of us here, we're scared of something. We're scared of something. What's the worst that can happen? Whatever you go into, please, I'm begging you to go all in. Because going half-ass leads to depression. Going half-ass and doing things and not knowing you left to your potential, you did it your best way, leads to low self-esteem. Another book recommendation for you is What to Say to Yourself When You Talk to Yourself.
Oof. What to say to yourself when you talk to yourself?
Life-changing book. Life-changing book. You know, what conversation are you having? Because if you're telling yourself, let me tell you something. I'm going to finish with this. Let me tell you this. If you're making promises to yourself and you're not keeping it, it's going to be a long road for you. I'd rather you make promises to other people than to yourself. I'd rather you do that. Because you know what? Because you carry yourself everywhere you go with you. You talk to yourself 3,000 times a day. So if you tell yourself that, hey, man, you know, I'm going to work out on Monday and every Monday you fucking put it away, or I'm going to do this but not do it, over time, you're basically telling yourself that you ain't shit. And your word don't matter.
Subconsciously. Yeah.
The next thing you know, your subconscious takes over. So whatever you do it to the best of your ability. Whatever you do, go all in. Burn the boats. If you're going to be a dad, become the best fucking dad on the planet. If you're going to become a real estate agent, become the best fucking real estate agent on the planet. If you're going to go work out, give your all every single time in the gym. Some days in the gym, I can lift everything. I'm King Kong. And some days I can't lift shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
so
talking
true.
about? You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Some days you just go in there like, God
Right.
damn, I'm the man. And
What's going on, right? You're
some
like,
days, you know what I
oh.
mean? You can't even get the ball. Oh, it just hurt. Damn. But guess what? Every single time I go in the gym, I give it my all. I don't care if it's 45 pounds. I don't care if it's 500 fucking pounds. Give it your all today. Give it your all. Every single one of you have a choice right now. Are you going to win the day or are you going to lose the day? Today, are you going to win or are you going to lose? Because winning is a habit and so is losing.
So it's
But if you win one day at a time, you eventually win the week. You eventually win the week, you eventually win the month, eventually win the year, and eventually win life. You can't live in the past because whatever the fuck you did in the past is the past.
mhm.
That's where fear, that's where anxiety, that's where fear lives. Fear lives in the past. Oh my God, this happened to me, and this and that, and anxiety lives in the future. You can't change the past. What's past is past. You can't fucking change it. You can't get in that, AMC time machine and go back. What you've done, you've done. Learn from it and move the fuck on. You can't predict the future. You can't predict who's going to win the election still. We're still counting ballots. You can't predict the future because future is where anxiety lives. All you can concentrate on is right here, right fucking now. Today, go fucking win. I love you guys, man. I got to get on another call. Jeff, you have anything else for me?
That's it, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you for blessing us with your wisdom and sharing time with us. I appreciate you, brother. You dropped some phenomenal knowledge, and you got to go out there and win. Stop, either win or whine, right? Stop
Yes.
whining about the day. Win the day.
And I'm not joking, guys. You got some investment properties, anything like that? Head a brother up. I'm gobbling them up. I'm gobbling them up, man. I'm ready. I sold a
Let's
Lambo.
go, baby.
I sold a Rari. I sold a thing. I'm driving a fucking Infiniti QX80 with my dogs in it. All that stuff in it. But I don't give a fuck. I'm ready to invest now, baby. All the cars was just sitting there. Now I'm ready to get my money worth for me, man. God bless you guys. Love you guys. Take care.
Love you, brother. Take care, man. Take care, my man.